Hi, in this video, we're going to take a look at how to reduce OAS clawbacks and when it makes sense to do so. Now, old age security, OAS, is a very helpful government benefit. It can start as early as age 65. You can delay it as late as age 70. But OAS, it has a clawback associated with it. So if you go above a certain level of individual income, not household income, but individual income, you'll experience a 15% reduction on your OAS clawbacks. Now, it might make sense to focus on those OAS clawbacks, to find ways to reduce those OAS clawbacks, maybe reducing your taxable income, maybe melting down your RSP. However, there are situations where those OAS clawbacks may be the best scenario. So sometimes optimizing for OAS clawbacks might lead to other negative effects on your retirement plan. Now in this video, we're going to take a look at a case study. We're going to show you why maybe focusing on OAS clawbacks can either be good or bad depending on your situation. Now in this clip, we're going to take a look at Jesse and Johanna. Jesse and Johanna, they want to retire at age 61. They've got a defined benefit pension. They've got a little bit of part-time work in retirement, and they've got $2 million in financial assets. So they're definitely in a good position, but they are going to trigger some OAS clawbacks. So in this clip, we're going to look at ways to reduce those OAS clawbacks. But we're also going to take a look at why it may not make sense to do so in certain situations. Okay, so let me kind of level set. So, we've got the net worth projections, but let's sort of meet who we are working with here. So we've got Jesse and Joanna. So they're planning to retire within the next year. So they've got 1 year left of employment here. And we will see that within the projections. And then they're planning to retire at age 62. So we've got all of our details here for expenses, but let's take a look. So in retirement, age 62 onwards, they're hoping to spend about $155,000 a year. It's a fairly high income retirement plan. And even in later retirement, about $120,000 a year in later retirement. And in this situation, they do have a fair amount of assets. So we can see here 2 million total or so in financial assets. And the thing that I want to kind of highlight, and the thing that we're going to talk about here, because this one's going to be all about old age security clawbacks and timing of the government benefits, when to start CPP and old age security. The thing I want to highlight here is the amount that they have in registered assets. So RSP, and down here for Joanna, we've got the DCPP, defined contribution pension plan. So you can see the amount of money they have in registered assets is quite large. And so this is why we're starting to get concerned about old age security clawbacks in the future. A little bit of non-registered account, a little bit of TFSA. Now, the other factor within this plan is we do have a defined benefit pension. So Jesse has less financial assets, doesn't have that DCPP, but has a defined benefit pension, which goes down to $65,000 at age 65. So again, a factor within the plan is we've got a lot of registered assets, but also a fairly healthy pension coming up in the future as well. Let's take a look at their CPP and OAS estimates. So, fairly close to the maximum here. Again, they've got some of that future CPP enhancement that's helping them, but fairly close to the maximum. Right now, they're planning to start at age 65. So combined, they'll get about $50,000 from all four benefits. But this is the maximum amount. So this is the maximum that they would receive if there aren't any old age security clawbacks. But let's now take a look at what that looks like in their projections, because they aren't going to get this full sort of 17,000 combined. So let's go over here to projections, and we'll kind of look at the first base level projection here. So we've got CPP and old age security. They're starting at age 65. We can see some of their income drawdown. So I think it's not Jesse, but Joanna that's going to have a little bit of income after retirement. So it's not full-time, but not planning to stop entirely. So there's still some income here that they're going to be receiving. So that's another factor we need to consider. We see the pension, 75,000, goes down to 65,000 after 65. And then we can see their pension, their spending here. So 155,000 in early retirement, 119,000 or so in late retirement, and healthy net worth. So at the moment, total assets, 2.1 million by the end of the year with the growth. And even with all of that sort of spending, they're really not drawing down on their net worth yet because of that additional employment income that has been assumed within the plan. So even that part-time income plus pension, plus a bit of growth means that they're pretty much flat for the first 10 years. And this ends up being a bit of a issue. So if we look at old age security, one of the ways that we can see that there are clawbacks is that they aren't getting the full 16, 17,000 we'd expect. We can already see that this has been reduced by the old age security clawback. And of course, it's based on CPP and pension and employment income. And so we can even go down here and see it in the table. So we can see those clawbacks here for Jesse, and we can also see it here for Joanna. So it is an individual benefit, old age security. It's also an individual clawback, but at some point with income splitting, it ends up being quite similar. So what we're going to do is we're going to play around with some of the CPP and old age security start ages, and we're going to see if we can maybe improve this plan a little bit. So let's make a copy of this scenario. And we don't have to rename it, but let's start looking at the AI strategies just to see what's interesting and pretty much expected. Delaying CPP seems to be one of the recommendations. So we're going to go through and we're going to start activating some of these to see the impact on the plan. Now, their plan's fairly successful, 85% success rate, and financial assets towards the end of the plan, 1.16, 1.17 million. So let's see how that changes as we start to enable some of these. So for Joanna, we're going to delay CPP benefits. So we can see that those get pushed out. They're now getting more later on in the plan. Net worth is already higher here. Financial assets, 1.25, 1.26 million. So already going up because of that. If we go down to the OAS clawbacks, we can see that now there's no more OAS clawbacks. So Joanna could start old age security at 65 and still not have those clawbacks there. But let's keep going through and see if we have some other opportunities. So expected again, CPP at age 70 for Jesse. So let's enable that one. And now we'll see that CPP is fully pushed out until age 70, giving them more room to draw down on non-registered and registered assets. So that looks interesting. We still have a little bit of old age security clawbacks here. This is because they started to draw on their registered accounts before age 70. So let's do a few more things. Let's also delay their old age security benefit. Part of the benefit of doing this is they're going to get more old age security. So if we think about the clawbacks now, this is pushing more of that OAS above the clawback. And we're going to delay that benefit by a few years and avoid the clawbacks that happens at age 69. So let's enable that one. And we're going to push it out again. And overall net worth is just going up. So now we're at financial assets 1.35 million. And similarly, we're going to push out OAS for both of them. So we're going to do that for both. So now if we go down, we'll see that there's no old age security clawbacks here. And I guess I should highlight that this column is dynamic. So in your plan, if you don't see this column, it's because you don't have any old age security clawbacks at all. So if you do have them, it will show up and you'll be able to see it in the table exactly. Now here they still have some OAS clawbacks after age 70. We're going to see if there's other things that we can do. Maximizing the TFSA seems like a good option. The more money we can put in a tax-free savings account, the less money there is going to be causing OAS clawbacks. So let's definitely do that one. And let's see if there's anything else that pops out here as well. So RSP meltdown, so those are some interesting ones. Let's definitely do some RSP RIF to conversion as well. And we're just triggering some more of that RIF income early on in the plan. So definitely a lot we can do here in terms of optimizing to reduce old age security clawbacks. There still are clawbacks within this plan. I will kind of highlight one thing we could do to reduce OAS clawbacks, but I'm also going to highlight that it actually has a negative effect on the plan. So this is where focusing on one factor like OAS clawbacks or total tax can sometimes lead to maybe some incorrect conclusions. So here we're at 1.4 million in financial assets. So that's quite an increase versus where we started the base plan. But one thing we could do is maybe instead of doing CPP at 65, let's do it at age 60. And so this is interesting because it actually pushes more taxable income early on when there aren't going to be OAS clawbacks. So if we go down here to the table, we see that now OAS clawbacks have been really minimized. So it used to be a couple $1,000s per year for each of them. Now we'll see that it's not there at all. But the impact on the plan, if we look at net worth, is that they actually have a lower net worth here than in the previous scenario. So even though we've maybe optimized for old age security clawbacks, one thing to highlight is that that might be okay if the rest of the plan is offsetting it. So in this case, delaying CPP has other advantages for this couple, even though it does trigger some old age security clawbacks. Now, if you're interested in seeing the rest of the case study, I put a link for the entire case study below in the description for this video. Please take a look. It is extremely interesting. If you want to build your own retirement plan, I would highly suggest creating an account with Advice. Advice is a platform that we provide advice-only and fee-only financial planners so that they can work with their clients creating retirement plans like you just saw, but you can also access it directly. So with our video guides and our instructional videos, you can actually build your own retirement plan and then potentially reach out to a fee-only or advice-only planner to review it with you. So if you don't have a retirement plan yet, I would highly encourage you to create an account on Advice and start building your own retirement plan. Thanks again for watching.